Good afternoon, everybody. A little bit before the close on Friday, all three indices up. I thought I'll do a quick video today. Today is Friday, December 1st. Hope everybody's doing well. All three indices up. So let's look first at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ today was up about 62 points, 0.4%. Very strong move up. Very, very nice. And if you look at it from the chart, it actually started out very, very weak, but is ending up very, very nicely. So I think I like that pattern. And if you look at it for the week, it's up slightly. So if I look at it overall for the week, it's not bad at all. It's still in the channel, still moving in the right direction. If you notice, most of the moves in the early part of the week were flat to lower and a big red candle on Wednesday, and then trying to move back up again within this channel. So this is a key part. I think this is just continues a little bit more to move higher and up. There's definitely rotation going on. If you look at the IWM, which is the small cap Russell 2000 index, certainly a very strong day, but also a very strong week for the Russell. Just look at this beautiful candle. Last 2 weeks have been very, very strong. So I'm really excited about that stock as well. It's hopefully going to move out of this range, but we will wait for it to be able to continue. So that's the Russell 2000. The SPY also up slightly this week. It's today, up about 26 points, 0.5%. Good move up, moving slowly out of this resistance range that exists right now. This is the cup, this is the handle, this is the move up. It should make it to 4,700, which is what I'm hoping by next year. So this is going to take a while. It's going to move up, down, sideways, but this is going to take a little while to be able to get there. That's my hope on the Russell. Good move this week overall. If you look at it on the weekly chart, look at the nice candle. It's green. It's moved very, very well. Hopefully it continues to make its move to the right direction. And then finally, the Dow Jones, look at that beautiful candle. And then the Dow Jones Industrial Average also up, not as much as the Russell and the NASDAQ today, about 25 points, but the week for it has been very, very good. So today was a little bit of a quieter candle, 0.7%, actually up 260 points. So this is not a bad week at all. And if you look at it on a weekly basis, just look at it weekly. This is a beautiful move on the Dow. Off the three, this is the strongest. The moving out to the channel a little bit, actually, so that's a good sign. IWM is also good. One of the stocks that showed up on the radar is Elastic, a software as a service company. Elastic makes search infrastructure indexing solutions. So let's do our 5-step analysis, see what we find, and see why people are saying that the stock is going up. The company is about $10 billion in market capitalization. And let's start with, as always, the fundamentals. I start with the income statement, usually on an annualized basis. So 2016, about 8 years ago, the company did about $88 million in revenue, growing at 80%, then slowed down to 70%, 60%, 40%, 40%, 20%. Oh, wow. This has gone up nearly 10 times or more in the last 8 years. So revenue from under 100 million to over $1 billion, very strong. Gross profit in the 75% range. So that's a very good sign. This is the reason why it's a little bit of a challenge. Net margins are down in the 25%, negative 25%, but reducing. Oh, no, it's actually increasing. Net income is going negative, even a little bit more than usual. That's probably the reason why the stock, even at $1 billion, is about 10 billion. Growth is not bad at all. Annualized growth is 20% over the last few years. And then, you see, this year, it's actually slowing down to the teens. 16, 17% is where it's going at. So $300 million in revenue for the quarter and about 17, 19, 24. Okay, so look at the net income. It's actually, this year has been going down in terms of its losses. So losses have been very, very manageable now. Look, they have the loss. We look at the Q4 earnings as soon as we get a chance, Q3 earnings, sorry, as soon as we get a chance. But this is a good sign. Losses are reducing. Revenue is still in the teens, high teens, 17%, 18%, which is a good sign. If you look at the balance sheet, the company has roughly about $1 billion or so in current assets, $1.8 billion in current assets, and then roughly about more than half a billion, nearly 600 million in debt. So on a scale of 1 to 10 for the fundamentals, let's lastly look at just the valuation. So this is not bad at all for 17% growth. It's not terrific, but it's not bad at all, given some of the other companies that are growing at about 17, 20%. They're probably in the 10 range in terms of price to sales ratio. 70% gross margins. Next margin is a negative 10%, but doing better now than before. So that's obviously a good sign for us overall. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give the fundamentals a 7. Now, I just want to take 2 minutes to explain what does it mean when I give it a 7, or 8, or a 9, or a 10. To me, the quality of the balance sheet, the quality of the income statement, the quality of the revenues and the margins usually advises me on the size of position to take. What that means is instead of going 10% of my portfolio for a trade position, I might go 20% if I get an 8, 9, or a 10. If I get a 7, I'm going 15, and I'm going anything less than 7, even if it's 5 or 6. If it's less than a 5, if it's 50% here or there, I'm not touching it. But if it is 5 to 7, I'm usually doing about 10%. 7 is about 15%. Anything 8, 9, even 9 and 10 actually is 20%. Just wanted to let you know. That's what it means when I give a specific number, assign a number to the balance sheet and the income statement and the fundamentals. So fundamentals at Elastic is 7 out of 10. All right, so let's now look at the monthly chart first. On the monthly chart, small short base, quick leg up, stage 2, consolidation stage 3, little bit of a leg up, and then stage 4 decline. In another video, some point in time, I'll explain the stages once again for people that have not been aware of what this is. So did a little bit of a consolidation here for these 2 months in January 2020, and then strong stage 1 in stage 2 incline, stage 4 decline. This is a stage 3. January 21, February 21, just consolidating a little bit, and then stage 4 decline, consolidate again, stage 1, stage 2 incline, and then a rapid, oh my God, this is an amazing stage 4 decline, tried to do a leg up, and then declined again. So this is forming up a base. Essentially, look at this at the very high level. If you want to think about it, this has been its trending period. In fact, if you wanted, you can even go a little bit lower than that. Just to give you a little bit of a better sense, this is where it has been over the last few months, all the way from 22 of May to 23 of November, 18 months of just consolidation. See, it just moves up, move down, moved up, moved down. It's just, this is the basing pattern, but then it did a very strong move this month out of this box, out of this channel, moving over this key resistance of 98 all the way up to 110. So where is it right now? It's on the move up. This is a very huge gap on the monthly. From the 80s, 86 range all the way up to the 98 range is a huge gap. So that's the power earnings gap usually. All right, look at this. On the weekly chart on this week, it has been solid. Moving out of this base of consolidation that it's been forming over quite a period of time. You can even move this up a little bit more to give you a little bit of a percent. So it formed a nice base. On the weekly chart now, it is on the up. So this is a strong candle. So where it's likely going to do on the weekly, you'll find, looking at the personality of the stock, look at this. Forms a nice strong on the weekly and then moves a little way up. This is the very similar candle to this one. That's most likely the pattern. Look at this, beautiful candle and then moves up. Beautiful candle on the green. Just look for similar candles. That's another thing that I find very interesting. Look for similar candles so you'll find the personality of the stock. Make sense? Look at this one. Look, this candle is very similar to this candle. Look how it moves up. Look at this candle, similar to that candle, moves up. Similar to the candle, moves up. So it's going to move up a little bit more, likely to the 120 zone. So let's draw some support and resistance zone as to where it might end up. So this is the most likely support resistance for it first, 125. It should get there without a problem, I think, given how nicely the stock has been moving up. Where would you find the resistance? You should find the resistance at the previous, support at the previous resistance, so somewhere in the 196 range. But let's go to the daily chart to find better resistances and better technical analysis associated with it. First off, look at all the moving averages, except for the 200-day moving average up and to the right. That's a green. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. You want the moving averages to be in your direction and up. This is a challenge. The RSI is just way off the charts high. It's at much over 86. So this is going to take a little bit of a break. Might do a consolidation pattern. So it'll go up, I'm sure of that. It might consolidate a little bit. Now, if you want to find out another interesting thing, a trick that I use very, very often on the daily chart, I mean, this is a beautiful power earnings gap. This is going to either go one of three directions. It'll go like this. Let's show you what that, it'll go like, oops. It'll go like this and then move higher. That's one way it could go. Or it would go like this and move higher. Either ways, wait for it and move higher. So now your question becomes, what do I look for essentially in the chart, right? What can I look for to be able to see this is not what is happening right now? I'm just telling you what it might happen. So another thing to do is I use the volume profile. You click on the volume profile and you try and get a little bit of a better sense. Where are people buying the stock? Once you do the volume profile, you realize a lot of people have bought it at the 105 range, right? So a lot of people buying it at the 105 range. So if the stock moves down, the 105 is the key resistance point. Someone who's bought it at 105 doesn't want to lose money. They think it might go down. The next one is 100. So the long-term holders are going to hold it no matter what. So 105, look at the green can, look at the yellows. A lot more people buying, which is a yellow, versus a lot more people selling, which is the blue. Excuse me. So I would actually put a buy support. Sorry, I would put the stop loss at about 105, buy it at this stage, look for 105 stop loss, but this should go up all the way to 120, as I mentioned. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment, share this on Twitter. That's one thing I'm going to ask you today to do. If you like the video, if you like my videos, if you watched a few of my videos, just share one of my tweets on Twitter. It gets more people to come in and see it. I really appreciate if you did that, and tag me on it so I can actually follow you and we can continue the conversation. Thanks very much. Have a good weekend, everybody.